Hi guys, it's Shauna here, and I'm hoping today goes better than yesterday. We had an awful lot of problems, technical difficulties with Facebook and my internet. What I did find out was I had some really big energies here yesterday because I'm in the midst of another leveling up, another huge, huge shift for me, personally, physically, emotionally, um, really changing things, really coming clearer. And so I'm getting much deeper. And so I had some huge energies here yesterday that were trying to assist me with that. So that kind of threw my brain off. And it seemed to throw off the computer and the internet. When you have really big energies like that in the house, they tend to interfere with anything that's using energy. So I'm just looking to pull us up on my phone just in case. As anyone has joined, if you could just say, hey, let me know you're here. I'm going to start out doing a card read for the day. That'll give us a few minutes to let people come in. And we're going to use the Keepers of the Light, and we'll pull a card for the day. Okay? And then we'll get into some discussion. And I went ahead and did a little formal, informal researching. Hi, Michelle. And made some notes because I don't hold that kind of information in my head very well. So I'll be looking at that as well. So today's card. Ooh, they're flying all over the place. Hold on one sec. Okay, so there's two of them that came up for today. So the first one is Isis Magic Manifesting. And, I have to say, I've seen this start to really happen, this automatic manifesting in my life. So I've, oh, darn it, Michelle. I'm sorry, it's freezing on you. So I'm finding that this instant manifestation is really starting to happen for me. Really important to keep the thoughts good and positive and just what you want, not what you don't want. So that's a big part of that. The second card is Rigid Inner Strength. So these are the two cards, and these are from Keepers of the Light. We're going to go ahead and read the meanings via the author. And I'm hoping that people aren't going to have too hard a time getting in and staying in today. Yesterday was quite the challenge. Oh, where is it? Right here. Oh, there it is. Okay. And oh, good, you made it back, Michelle. Okay, so Isis. Magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming a reality. Stay focused. And that's really what this feels like to me. I'm just going to read the extended message. You're moving into a space where your dream reality is becoming your outward reality. This is an extremely powerful time, and it's vital to keep focused on the highest good of all. You no longer want to relive your own history and or feel unsupported. Acknowledging where you once were and how you have changed that situation around is a powerful focus of gratitude that will align you with universal abundance. Discipline and commitment are important now. Consider that you're moving between worlds. When you daydream or create visions and bring life-enhancing ideas into reality, magic is manifesting all around you. This is exciting. And it really is a time of manifestation, you guys. So really, really keep in mind, you want to stay focused on the good. Release the bad. Don't listen to the fear that's being sent out to us through the media. Don't watch things that bring you down. Stay focused on what you want for the world, what you want for yourself. Really important right now. Really important. The other card is Bridget, Inner Strength. So let's look her up too. As I recall, Bridget is part of or related to Michael. So let me see. Oh no, I might be fibbing. Bridget is a Celtic goddess of Ireland who is closely associated with fire and the time of spring. She is the twin flame of Cernunnos. She was so well loved by the Celtic people that when Christianity came to Ireland, she was adopted as a saint of holy wells and other holy places. She's a powerful figure who can help us channel our energy into something that is important for our growth. And as she herself has lasted through the ages, she adds longevity to our journey so that we can reach a deep state of wholeness. You can call on her to bring her sacred flames, to burn away anything that's not serving you, to bless any new projects you have in mind, and for support with fertility. The extended message is your spiritual fire is growing within. Recognize that the power of your soul is greater than you think. You have come a long way since you began this journey. There's a powerful force within you, and you have the ability to create wonderful changes in your own life and inspire those around you to do the same. Be aware of new projects, opportunities, and fertile ideas that can grow into something larger than you may imagine. Call on the fiery goddess Bridget to light the way ahead. So, lots and lots of things happening for everyone. Stay positive. Call Bridget if you're needing her to help you remove some stuff. Okay, but just know that your thoughts are what creates your reality. So your thoughts are going to be what you manifest. So if you're thinking how upset you are with someone or how you dislike something, and you're living those kinds of thoughts, you need to try to shift that. Look at what it is you do like about that person, that you've got several things you don't like, or you know what I'm saying. Just really try to shift that into a more positive outlook, because right now we're manifesting, and we can manifest bad things too, right? So keep that in mind. So a couple of people have said that they're interested in a little more specific information about being an empath. And, you know, I do everything through feeling. So when it comes to actually explaining, I have a hard time translating what I understand into words for you guys. Okay, so I made some notes. I did go on to, I think it's Psychology Today, where I found the 10 empath traits. And then, so let's talk about those. First off, you're highly sensitive, right? We all know highly sensitive. We feel, we know, we react to things that we don't even realize where they're coming from. We absorb energy of others. So we absorb others' troubles, their happiness. I mean, it can go both ways. We absorb from other people. And for that reason, we have to learn how to just release it, which we've talked about before. We tend to be introverts. We really don't like going out in crowds. We don't like going places where there's a ton of people, or huge buildings even can get to me. So we prefer to stay one-on-one or in really small groups. We're much more comfortable that way. Highly intuitive. Our gut instincts are never wrong. But I will add to that we were taught to talk ourselves out of them. For me, it was like, you can't be rude. If you don't have tangible proof, you can't trust your gut, right? Although there were times that I trusted my gut without even knowing what I was doing, where somebody went to pick up my child, and for some reason I flew across the room and pushed them out of the way and picked her up myself, and have no idea why that happened. But I knew there must have been a good reason, or it wouldn't have happened, right? Find out he molested his children. I found that out weeks later, and I thought, wow, I'm never gonna second guess that again. And I really didn't have a choice in that particular instance. So you guys probably have some of those things too, where you just do something and you react to something and you're like, what the heck? I don't know. Highly intuitive. You need alone time. Oh my God. You have to allow yourself to take time to yourself. You have to. It's part of recharging. It's part of releasing some of the other stuff that we're picking up. Our nervous system can really only take so much. We are human with this empath ability where we feel and know things that others don't feel and know. So it's a lot of stress, really. So we have to take that time. And it's funny enough, further down the list, it talks about replenishing in nature. And I really think that the alone time, if you put that together with alone in nature, that's how we regenerate. That's how we get back on track. That's how we calm our nervous system. That's how we release what we're carrying for other people as we hand it over to nature. So if you can put those two together, that's the best thing. But anytime you need alone time, you need to feel free to take it. Intimate relationships can be overwhelming. Now, what this said was that we fear losing ourselves in an intimate relationship. And I have to say I've experienced that. You know, my marriage was like that. I really didn't exist. And part of that's because we want to help others, you know. So we tend to just really focus on other people and we lose ourselves. So for some of us, intimate relationships are difficult or we avoid them, okay? I have seen that. And that, you know, that's one of those things you can work on. We tend to be targets for people who like to absorb energy from others. People call them energy vampires. You know, that term does not really resonate with me. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel right to me. Some of them do it on purpose, right? But majority of people have no idea that's what they're doing. They come to us, they dump their problems on us. You know, they really are just drawn to us. And it's almost our duty, in a sense. And it happens sometimes with perfect strangers in the store or whatever. And I don't really think most of them intend to be taking energy from us. But I think we've all probably experienced that. So I have this kick in my neck. So I don't know if somebody out there is having some neck issues. Michelle, you having neck problems? But boy, I'm feeling a really weird kink that was not there a little bit ago. So if somebody's having neck pain and you want some assistance with that, let me know. Just comment. It looks like people are having a hard time staying here. I see people coming and going. So I'm going to apologize if there's a problem with the feed. I'm so sorry. So replenish in nature comes up as the 8th one. Tabitha, that's you. Straighten the kind of the center of the neck, base of the head almost, because that's really, really strong. We need to look at that. When we do the energy, try to, if you're still here, try to pop up and remind me. Well, you shouldn't need to because I can feel it. They want me to work on it. So, okay, so let's see. Number 9 would be highly tuned senses, which to me goes along with highly sensitive. And sometimes that highly sensitive means can be smell, can be hearing, can be taste, can be feelings, clearly, you know. So, and pain. And number 10 is we have huge hearts, which really should be number 1, because let me tell you, I have not met an empath that isn't one of the most loving hearts there is. And that's where we get into trouble, because we can't shut that off. We love everybody, even if we know they're standing in front of us lying to us. So it's so difficult sometimes to really be able to be like, look, I know this person's lying to me. I love the crap out of them. I don't really want to call them on it, right? So then you start to fool yourself into, well, you know, maybe I'm being oversensitive, and maybe they're not really lying. They're not saying, you know, they're seeming like they're not. So, you know, and we start talking ourselves out of it. We give and we give and we give and we give. And we forget that we matter, because we're automatically healers. We're automatically want to help and fix other people. So you have to remember, one of the things you need to remember is to take all the time you need to yourself, to replenish yourself, to really put you on that list. Because if you do not, you will end up moody, angry, depressed. Most of us carry these things with us. Constant panic, anxiety. Oh my God, the anxiety in itself. And anxiety can make you angry, right? So you can present anxiety with anger and rage. It hurts our heart when we get out of control and we start acting like that, right? Then we get diagnosed with some illness and on meds, which is fine. I mean, I take medication. I still need it for the depression issues. I'm getting much better, and I recognize it when it's happening, and I ground myself, and I do certain things that I've learned, to do. Some of it is checking in on my brain. What am I thinking? What am I saying to myself? What am I focused on? Because clearly I'm focused on something not so nice, right? And when we're focused on something not so great, it becomes part of us because we feel it so deeply, so intensely that it affects everything we do. Hugely important. The first step for me was changing the inner dialogue. I had my abusive mother running in my head all the time, telling me how useless I was, telling me what a pain in the ass I was, telling me how I was a liar and I was a bitch. And all of those things are just running in our heads and we don't even know it. Right? We flee from those homes. We start our lives, and then we continue it in our head and we have no idea. So those kinds of things are really important for us to realize, to focus in on, and to change, because you can change that. I simply did it by catching myself when I was thinking it and when I was talking to myself that way, and I would be like, no, that actually isn't the truth. That is what I was programmed with from someone who was so wounded from life that she didn't know how to love anything or anyone, right? So I had to say, no, that's not the truth, because I knew inside who I was, deep in there. There was always that little light. But you have to just, no, that's not accurate. I'm actually a very loving, giving, kind person. I'm not that, and we have to convince ourselves, honestly. Okay, Mary. Hi, Mary. Mary wants a card, so I'm going to write your name down, Mary, okay? And as this goes on, anybody who wants cards, let me know. Okay. And so another thing that I found kind of interesting, I was looking at, I've never really thought of these terms as really different from one another. The intuitive empath, the psychic empath, just empath. And it seems that they almost have some differences, and I really think a lot of them are very similar. First, let's talk about empathy in itself, okay? The normal human trait of empathy. Empathy is different than being an empath, okay? Empathy is the ability to imagine what another person might be feeling. But an empath literally feels it as their own. So it's different. So you can imagine how somebody else feels, but at other times you actually feel it. You come to someone who's depressed and you're just as depressed as them within minutes of coming in contact with them, because you feel it as if it's your own. So then I was reading about intuitive empath, which it said it senses and understands feelings before they're told anything about how the person's feeling. So you just walk up and you know exactly what they're going through. All of these, to me, feel really close to the same. The psychic empath, I think, is just a little deeper, where we actually get the pains. We can get information and different things from people as we come in contact with them. I feel like, and I've never automatically picked up supreme details about people, other than what's going on in their field. So I think that the psychic empath part isn't everybody, but isn't everyone who is an empath. But I think it's a smaller percentage of them. And that's just a deeper ability to tune in, and also being open to your guidance and their guidance. So it's kind of like another layer of being able to feel in. So I'm hoping that explains some more specific about empath traits. Okay, a lot of people I come in contact with are empaths. I find them to be highly sensitive, and they may not be, an empath in every cell, but they're being affected by others. You're affected by places you go. Oh my God, Walmart. I go in there, and for some reason, that's a place that really affects me. I usually have anxiety there. So, things like that can happen. Sometimes places like Home Depot, but I think that kind of makes sense because I don't know what I'm doing when I'm there. But, okay. So if there's any more questions about any of that, if that strikes anything that you want to ask about, please let me know. Okay. And we will go ahead and start pulling cards. And Mary, looks like I think you're the first one to ask for it. So, yeah, it looks that way. I'm trying to keep track of it on my phone as well, because at one point or another, the computer stops showing me comments. So Mary, Tabitha, we're gonna have to work on that. We're gonna, oh no, sorry, I picked up the wrong lens. I heard energy oracle, and I picked up the messenger, one of my favorite ones. So this is the energy oracle for you, Mary. Okay. And if you haven't been here before, I shuffle, cards fly out or fall out or refuse to go in. That's how I choose your cards. So it's really more my angels are helping me. Beautiful card. This is number 49, Angel of Love. Angel of Love. And again, this is for Mary. So let's take a look at that, Mary, and see what the author says about the Angel of Love. Oops. These are a little easier because they're numbered. Tabitha, please don't apologize. Absolutely do not. The reason I'm feeling it is because we can work on it, okay? And they want me to do that. So don't apologize, please. And it probably wasn't bothering you, because if you're anything like me, like I used to be, you get used to it and you don't even notice it because it's something that's with you all the time. So please never apologize for that kind of thing. It's kind of how I work, That's how I know when something's wrong in someone. So part of being an empath. All right, Mary. It did come out upright, so we'll read the upright. This beautiful angel comes with roses in her hair and rose-colored wings. She holds a rose quartz heart. I'll show that to you again. She holds a rose quartz heart, radiating tender and loving vibrations, bringing you compassion and affection. If you're looking for new love, this angel brings a message of its upcoming approach. Or if you're longing for a deeper, more intimate connection with someone already in your life, she's here to say that far tender greaterness is available to you. Either way, remember that your first intention for tenderness must be directed inward, and the compassion that you demonstrate towards yourself will influence the energetic potential of these events in a significant way. The angel of love is smiling on you and forging connections in the energetic realm. So here, this does have an affirmation, so I'd like to read that for you too. Excuse me. The affirmation is, I love and value myself without limitation or condition. Tender, loving treatment comes to me in wonderful and unexpected ways. So Mary, they're wanting you to focus in partially on how you treat yourself, what you think you deserve, right? And really love yourself. Release any kind of judgment that you hold for yourself. Open up that real loving heart, and that's what will come to you. If you're in a relationship right now, it calls for a deepening of that relationship. So I get the feeling this is about a current relationship. Could be a friend turning to love. It could be a husband that's going to become more loving, or you're going to open more to it, and things are going to change for you. So that's what the cards are telling us today. Anyone else looking for a card read, let me know. I think we're going to take a few minutes here and work on Tabitha. And this energy will go out to any and all of you. So I'm going to take a few minutes and we're going to channel some energy. And Tabitha, I'm going to send it directly into that area in your neck and see if we can't release what's stuck in there. I get oh, mine just cracked. That's great. I get the feeling that, you got it, Michelle. I'm going to write it down. I get a feeling that this is stored. Oh, things fall out of my ears. That this is something stored. This is, yeah, I don't feel like it's an injury for you. Correct me if I'm not correct, okay? I feel like it's some stored emotions. It's not. It doesn't feel new to me at all. It feels like an older sticking kind of. So I'm thinking that it's some kind of stuff from life, or something you're absorbing from someone else, or something like that. So let me know if you feel like telling us about that a little bit, where you think this came from. A lot of the time, even if it just showed up and you don't have a life reason for it, you may have an inkling when you tap into that pain. If you go into that feeling, you may get a hint as to where it stems from, and that will help you with the release. Okay? All right, so we're going to pull in all of our healing partners. I'm going to pray this doesn't shut down Facebook again today. Oh. And so, and the energy that I channel is angelic healing energy. I'm not allowed to call it anything else. It releases anything in your energy field that is not yours, anything that you don't need to be holding, and just clears your body out of any old stagnant energies that are causing issues. And I don't know its full capability. You can do anything that you would like to allow it to do. So if you've got some healing that needs to take place, sit back, open up, allow, and just let it come in. I have brought down the sacred healing space so everybody's protected while this takes place. Okay. And let me know if there's any questions as this is happening. If you're feeling something you have a question about or anything like that, just comment. I'll try to keep an eye on it. You're welcome, Mary. And Tabitha, you might want to move that neck around when you feel the urge, okay? That'll be part of releasing that energy. I'm going to bring the violet flame around each of us. Help transmute out any energies that no longer serve you. Any difference on that neck, Tabitha? You're still there. Let me know if there's any change. And again, channeling angelic healing energy. Anyone watching this as a recording can still experience this energy. You just sit back, relax, and allow. And it's just pure love. Good, good. And I do a lot of this, but it's because I usually am feeling somebody's pain. I still felt pretty sharp in kind of the lower portion. So, yeah, the energy is warm when it's physically healing. It's very interesting. It tends to go through different ranges. Sometimes the energy comes out really cold. And that's when it's kind of soul level deep. And that's where it's clearing. Which is most likely something from past lives, that kind of thing. Something that just really affected you deeply in your soul that really doesn't need to be held. And then you've got the warm, kind of sometimes hot energy. And those, from what I've seen, it tends to be more of a physical effect for you. Either way, you should start to feel more relaxed and a bit more whole. It's really deep in there, Tabitha. Really deep down now into almost the top of the back, right at the base of the neck. Ooh. Okay, feels like now they're down in there, in that spot. So I feel a tingle in my root chakra, which is your family, home, safety. So this is rooted in your root chakra. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for everyone is we're gonna bring down strands to each of your chakras, each of your 7 chakras, okay, the main 7. And we're gonna kind of recharge each of those and try to align those with those, okay, because some of them are kind of out of whack. And it'll help you be a little more centered and stronger in who you are and how to handle things. So a little red to the root, orange strand of light to the sacral. Just just below the belly button. Yellow to the solar plexus, just above the belly button, below the chest. Pink and green to the heart. Just your heart chakra. I also feel like there's some issues with someone's throat. It could simply be that you're not speaking your truth. I don't feel it too physically, but the swallowing is a little strange. So we're going to bring the blue thread of light down into the throat. Violet to your third eye, here in the forehead. That's right here. And then white to your crown chakra. And we're going to run through source light, pure white light, and we're going to run straight through and connect them all. Letting out the root into the ground, into the earth, to anchor you into the earth. If you all do not normally ground your energy, I suggest that you do in these times of all of this high energy coming in. It's really becoming necessary to be grounded and solid, and it helps us think clearer, it helps us react differently, it helps keep the crabbiness away. And it helps to keep us connected to this world, where all the high energies coming in from the sun and that right now are connecting us more into our guides and more into the galactic, and more so we need to balance those. Tabitha, how's that neck feeling? It felt like it went pretty deep in there. So, and it's feeling a lot better for me. There's still a catch, but not like there was. I'm sorry, Tabitha. I hope you don't mind that I targeted you like that. I'm going to feel for exactly where it is. Yeah. Still deeply in there. So this energy is going to keep working for a while, okay? For all of you. And all it's going to do for you is whatever it is you need from it. Okay. All right. Feels like that is done for now. Tabitha, I would suggest Epsom salt baths, or even just a compress to help pull some more of that energy out of there. Just to help get the... So anytime we're storing energy and it causes us pain in that way, when we clear it, your body can release some toxins that you want to help flush through your system, okay? So a compress of Epsom salts there, or a Epsom salt bath to help just clear some of that out of your system would be really good for you. Would benefit anyone and everyone who has anything they need to release, honestly. I always do the compress thing. I'm too big to get in a bathtub these days. So I just use like a hand towel or a washcloth, and I just get it good and wet, and I put in the Epsom salts, run a little water through it, and then I just put the compress on. That will help as well. And Tabitha, if you don't mind, maybe come leave me a message at some point and let me know in the next couple days how you're feeling. Okay, if you need a little more attention, let me know. Whew. Okay, so we have, I said I was going to write your name down, and I didn't, but Michelle asked for a card, so we're going to go ahead and pull one for her. Thank you for helping me remember. And okay, so I have this deck that's kind of new to me, activations. And it's not anything I've used that much. And as a matter of fact, right after I got them, I left them with a friend of mine. And she brought them back. Well, Wendy, y'all met Wendy well. Some of you were here for when Wendy was here. One of my bestest friends right now. And I would say right now, I don't know why I say that. She's always going to be a good friend of mine. Anyway, I left them with her because I felt like they wanted to be with her. So she used them for a little while, and she brought them back. And Michelle, they were calling to you. So let's see what we get from Michelle here in activations. These are pretty powerful cards. So Michelle, you got number 3, solar plexus chakra. Oh man, what did I do with my glasses? This is tiny writing, so I need help. The frequency of solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. So take a look at this card. Really focus in on that, Michelle, and anyone else. It's really, our solar plexus is really a powerful part of us. Hi, Chantal. Yes, I'll do a reading for you. So let's look this one up and see exactly what the book says about it. I'm going to write down Chantal's name, though, so I don't forget, because the other day I forgot poor Wendy. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. So it's number 3. Solar plexus chakra. You can imagine that's the 3rd chakra. Let's see. Oh, good. Okay, this isn't too awfully long. The flower of life is a geometric shape recognized by many cultures all over the planet. Get this back up here. It consists of 13 equal circles that intersect at the middle. No, there's no way for me to get that where you can actually see it very well. Intersects at the middle of each circle, creating a perfectly proportioned flower. As a symbol, the flower of life represents the universe as a whole, as well as the harmony in which all the separate components of the universe work together. This beautiful pattern is often used to indicate our understanding of our connection as humans and as spiritual beings to the whole. The color yellow is associated with the 3rd or solar plexus chakra. It's located in the area of the diaphragm below the breastbone and linked to our sense of self, our authority, and our personal power. So when somebody says stand in your power, you're activating the solar plexus. It's the area of our personality and our ego. Yellow helps us to think clearly, increase our awareness, and stimulate our curiosity. It strengthens our vitality, our life force, and our energy. Its sense is sight. Then there's a try this, which is like a little activity. Go inside yourself for a moment. Think about what is important in your life. Do you spend your days doing what you love? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel you are an important part of this big puzzle we call life? Most of us have that one thing that we love doing and are really good at. What is your one thing? So, go in, take a look around, try to figure out what brings you joy, right? What's your one thing that really brings joy to you that you do well? You know, when I look back, it's kind of funny because when I look back, I think my one thing was listening and advice. I always had something for somebody. If they came to me for something, I always had some kind of answer, whether I was young or old or what, you know. It was very interesting. So I kind of always thought my gift was the talking and counseling. I always wanted to be, actually, I wanted to be a counselor. So glad I didn't. I couldn't have handled that. But Chantel, Amanda. Hi, Amanda. You want a reading too? So I'm going to write you down. The next one's going to be Chantel. And what's going to use? Energy. So we're going to use the Energy Oracle, honey, for you. And you all have bad habits that you call people certain things. Mine is honey. It even annoys me sometimes. There it is. Amanda. Oh, wait. Am I doing Amanda's? No. Because Chantel was next. Yeah. Sorry, Chantel. This is for you. This is Chantel's, right? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I had a brain moment there. So your card is number 45. Man holding a heart. They kept us on track though. So here's the card. I'm gonna look at that. 45. I'll look it up here. There we go. This tender man sits with flowers all around, holding a heart in his hand. For a man, this signals a greater clarity about emotions and their purpose in your life. There could be a more balanced approach to family and love at this time, even if these have been confusing experiences for you in the past. For some, the card upright could signal the presence of a new man in your life, one who tends to be more thoughtful and aware. Whether or not this man is a love interest or a friend, he brings a high intention to help where personal projects, family, or home issues are concerned. Okay. Let's see. So there's another aspect to this card that I've seen with people, which is the relationship they're in currently takes a shift where that man becomes more loving, more affectionate, more comfortable with his emotions. So I feel like that might be what's happening here. Yeah, that's how I feel. Or it could be a friend transitioning into more of a love interest as well. I kind of get a hit on both of those for some reason. So I hope that resonates with you. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now we're actually going to do Amanda's. And we're going to use Messenger Oracle for you, hon. So you're good to go. Getting flying right now. And went on the floor. The one downfall of pulling cards this way. Okay, so for you, Amanda, I get number 9, embrace the dark. Embrace the dark. Which feels to me like you may be trying to be super positive and denying some of how you feel. And if this resonates with anyone, you have a piece of this as well. So just keep in mind, all of these card pulls really can apply to more than one of you, but specifically. Yeah. So what we have to remember about the dark is, and the light, is that we all have good and bad. We all have light and darkness. We need it. You know, we can't have light when there's not dark, right? So what our goal is to balance those. So you're not off balance it into super dark, but you're not off balance it into all sunshiny and happy and everything's fine when it really isn't. So I did that for a while, actually. And it was kind of a necessary part of my process. Excuse me. From going from completely lost in the anger and the rage and the deep and the dark and not having a really hard time getting out of it, not understanding it. And then I had to kind of reject that and not allow it and become too seated in the positivity for a while in order to come back and kind of balance it out. So sometimes that will be a path for someone, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you know your goal is to balance the dark and the light. Okay, let's read. It's number 9. So let's check out the meaning of this card from the author's standpoint. Embrace the dark. You have been taught that all is either good or evil, negative or positive. Good gives rise to good, bad gives rise to bad. It is wrong to have feelings of anger, dislike, or fear, as these emotions are born of our shadow self. This is not truth. Everything happens for a reason. Love can give rise to destruction, and hate can inspire acts of genuine love. The lessons offered by our shadow often teach us the most. Know your shadow self. Love it. Without the darkness, the stars cannot be seen. So, again, I guess I was right. So basically, it's okay to have that darkness. It's okay to get angry. It's okay to be judgy from time to time, right? I mean, we all go through it. And it's important that if you do get too lost in it, if you do feel like that's all you're doing at some point, that you have compassion for yourself. And then you just try to swing it back a little more in the other direction. And you try to release the judgment of others. Typically, if we're judging something in others, it's something that we are being shown in ourselves, something that we need to look at, something we don't want to look at, right? That's how this world works. It comes up in our face and it says, are you going to look at me now? Are you going to look at me now? If not, I'm going to pull back and someone else is going to come in and they're going to give you the same experience. So experiences that are repeating are trying to teach you something. So you want to look at all aspects of that, open up your perspectives, take a look at it, but to accept and love every part of you, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, all of it, because every bit of you is necessary for this lifetime and what you have to do for this world. We're all here at an amazing time where everybody's awakening. So much is happening. We're allowed to begin to be who we truly are and not just follow the norm, right? Be you, be unique. It's okay. You can be loved for who you are. And the minute you love yourself for who you are is when you find love outside of yourself for who you are. So the more we accept and love ourselves, the more we're going to be accepted and loved by others. It's when we're rejecting parts of ourselves that we get the most rejection from everywhere else, from all the external, right? So when we're rejecting ourselves, when I was buying into the stuff my mother said to me and taught me and hounded me with, and other people were doing the same thing, when I bought into that and I thought nothing of myself, I went through over 30 years of being rejected constantly by everyone because I couldn't accept all of me. So understand that every bit of us matters. The uniqueness is needed right now in this world. And you give yourself permission to be that unique. And somebody who is pushing you down, somebody who is saying, you're being weird, be like, yeah, isn't it fun? Like, let's have some fun. Let's laugh. Laugh as much as you can. It's crazy. So, Penelope, how much are readings? On here, I do them for free. I just pull cards for free. You can go to my website, which is angelsandmehealing.com. And there's actually 3 different choices. I have a 30-minute, a 60-minute, and a 90-minute reading and healing, depending on what you need. I really just do one type of session, which is card readings, healing energy, guidance, coaching, whatever it is you're needing from me at the time. And I offer, I offer a 30-minute conversation where we can talk about what your needs are, and I can tell you if I feel like I'm the right person for that. I don't want somebody to pay for a session and then, feel like that we weren't the right connection. Likely, if you're drawn to me, it's because I have something for you. So anyway, on my site, the readings are $55 for 30 minutes, $95 for 60, and $125 for 90 minutes. That being said, it's kind of my way of having a sliding scale, honestly. I don't tend to limit specifically to those times. It depends on what you really need. So it's kind of like purchase what you're comfortable with, and we're going to do whatever. So always come to a session with me with at least an hour or more available in time, because I'm just not going to leave you hanging. It's just not going to happen. So, and I'm trying to be here every day. My guides are telling me this is supposed to happen daily. Hopefully I'll get a little more versed in how to do this smoothly, and we can come up with some topics that may be helpful. We might practice some grounding techniques and talk about some of that in the future as well. I love being able to do any kind of free reading that I can do here. And of course, time is limited, so we can only do so much. But right now, while there's not a ton of people, I try to do as many as I can. And that being said, we're almost at the hour. That went by pretty quick for me. Hopefully it did for you as well. And I hope that you will join me again. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you to come. And if you couldn't make it and you're here watching the recording, I am grateful to you as well. If you have any questions, you can contact me either here on Facebook or on my website at angelsandmehealing.com. There's all kinds of info there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out. And I'm sending love out to each of you. And I hope you have a great night. Bye-bye.